Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Inshallah, today we will present about Aqidah issue in Qada and Qadar. First of all, I will introduce my fellow presentators for today, which is the first, Nur Mashitah binti Ramli, second, Arina Hazwani binti Jasni, third, Izul Amza bin Safaruddin, fourth, Nur Natashatul Shima binti Yusri, fifth, Maryam Jamila binti Muhammad Yazid, sixth, Nur Nadia Adilah binti Abdul Rashid, and lastly, Muhammad Afiq bin Khairul Anwar. So now, let us move to the introduction first. Okay. Believing in Qada and Qadar is one of the things that we must believe in the pillars of faith. Qada and Qadar are often associated with fate or destiny, whether good or bad. There is tendency to say that some Muslims are still less sensitive to the understanding of the concept of Qada and Qadar clearly. This lack of understanding of Qada and Qadar will lead to the emergence of negative question in the community. So, today in this presentation, inshallah, we will come up with the issue related to Qada and Qadar and try to explain it in detail based on Quran and Hadith and also based on Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah and other groups. So, next to the presentation.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Maryam Jamila binti Muhammad Yazid and my metric number 117139. Now I would like to present the views and issue of Qada and Qadar. Belief in Qada and Qadar is one of the pillars of faith that must be believed by every Muslim. In Arabic, Qada means placing and deciding a certain ruling, while from Shara perspective, Qada is something that has been decided by Allah for all His creation. In Arabic, Qadar means setting something to a certain amount, while in Shara, Qadar is something that has been set at certain amount since the beginning of time, so that it follows His knowledge which precedes everything. Indeed, Allah said in Surah Ar-Ra'd, verses 8, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, wa kullu shay'in indahu bimiqdar. The explanation from the surah, and everything with Him is by due measure. According to Al-Jurjani, Al-Qadar is to remove possible thing from nothing to one by one in line with the determination of Al-Qadar. So, Al-Qadar occurs on the Azali, while Al-Qadar occurs simultaneously, stated by Ali bin Muhammad Al-Jurani in Kitab Al-Ta'rifat. Hence, according to Ahli Sunnah wa Jama'ah, believe that the provision, Qadar, and everything that happens, Qadar, in this world happen with the wisdom of Allah from the beginning. God is in control of everything that happen in this world. All good and bad things are God's provision. Okay, according to Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah, Qadar divided into two, Qadar Mubram and Qadar Mu'allaq. Okay, Qadar Mubram is the Qadar of Allah written in Lawh Mahfuz. This Qadar will not change and is unknown by anyone. Provision of God will happen to human beings, where human beings do not have the power to change the destiny from God. For example, when death comes, they cannot ask for a moment of delay or acceleration, indeed mentioned in Surah Al-A'raf verses 34. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. وَلِكُلِّ أُمَّةٍ أَجَلٍ فَإِذَا جَاءَ أَجَلُهُمْ لَا يَسْتَأْخِرُونَ سَاعَةً وَلَا يَسْتَقْدِمُونَ. Okay. Next, Qadar Mu'allaq means by the will of Allah. This destiny can be fixed and can change depending on the reason that human endeavor means depending on. This fate depends on the factors and reason. For example of Qadar Mu'allaq, a person's age and destiny can change when he prays a lot, good relationship with his parents, give a lot of charity, and just do good deeds. Okay, the words of the Prophet Muhammad SAW said that the destiny of Allah Almighty cannot be denied except prayer, and nothing can follow life except doing good to others. Next, in view of Qadariyah, believe that the human deed are created by human beings themselves, which is by the nature that God has given them since they were born into the world. God has absolutely nothing to do with man now. Even God does not know before what man will do. if he sinned because he used the power that God has given him in a bad way. According to Al-Qumi, narrated in his book Tafsir, said that the Qadariyah people who deny destiny, who think that they can do good or otherwise whenever they are from the Majusi of the people of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, told the enemies of Allah that denies Mashiach and destiny. So we conclude a view from Qadariyah is they use the reason because the human did good and some are evil, then God must not be involved. Okay, next is the step if the human want to change the destiny fate is to take action on whatever they desire to happen, change on it. Next is to pray, which is to raise hope in Allah for the meaning that he want to be granted. Finally, tawakkal is to wait for the decision. So the result based on the effort and prayer is requested. After the above is done, then we just wait for a provision of God called destiny. As a Muslim, we always pray to God, and the same will happen to prayer in its ability to change the future that God has created for us. If you pray for knowledge, God can arrange for us to acquire it. Rasulullah SAW said the meaning, Qada is not rejected except by prayer and does not increase in the age except by virtue. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Nur Nadia Adila binti Abdul Rashid. My metric number is 1172141. Okay, next I will continue the argument of every view including from the Quran and Sunnah. The first point is Qada does not contradict to the concept of dua. True, Qada has been determined since the Lauh Mahfuz. However, as servant, we are actually encouraged to ask and seek to him, which is our God is Allah, the power through prayer. The power of prayer is actually so great that it can change some destiny, qada that has been set by Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Prophet said, wala yuradul qada'i illa du'a. The meaning is nothing can be reject qada except prayer or du'a. Prophet said, mention again, wa du'a yanfa'u mimma nazala wa mimma yunazzilu wa innal bala'i yunazzilu fayatalqahu du'a fayastaljani ila yaumil qiyamah. The meaning is, and prayer can benefit what has come down and what has not yet, and verily the plague come down while the prayer are facing it, and being both of them struggle until the day of judgment. Okay, the next point is, has qada been determined since the beginning? Okay, in the school of Ahli Sunnah wal Jamaah, qada is divided into two ways. First, qada mubram, and second, takdir mu'allaq. Okay, the argument state in the second point is about takdir mubram and takdir mu'allaq. Okay, then takdir mubram means qada has been determined by Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala in Lauh Mahfuz, and this qada has no addition, deduction and change, and Allah has known the qada of each of his servant before the creation of heaven and earth. So Allah mentioned in Surah Al-A'raf verse 34, likulli ummatin ajalu fa idza jaa ajaluhum la yastakhiruna sa'atan wa la yastaqdimun. The meaning is, and for every human or ummah there is an appointed term. Once the appointed term arrive, they will not remain behind an hour, nor will be precede. Okay, then takdir mu'allaq is a qada that has been determined by Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala and can change depending the reason worked by human or man. As example of destiny of life, example is the qada of life, years time. Okay, Allah mentioned in Surah Al-Ra'd verse 39, yamhullahu ma yasha'u wa yuthabbitu wa indahu ummul kitab. The meaning is, Allah erase, demolish what he wills and make fixed what he wills, and with him is the ummul kitab, the mother of the books. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Nur Mashita binti Ramli. My matric number 1172116. Okay, I will present about analyze arguments. Okay, first, Mubrom destiny. The evidence in Surah Al-A'raf, verse 34, prove that the destiny of Allah has been determined from the beginning. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Walikulli ummatin ajalun fa idza jaa ajaluhum la yasta'khiruna sa'atan wa la yastaqdimun. These verses means each ummah is determined by their respective date. Therefore, when their date came, they could not put it down. Based on Tafsir fi Zilalil Quran and Tafsir Ibn Kathir, it can be concluded from the verses Quran that the destiny of Allah has been determined since azali. Okay, that destiny is named as Mubram destiny. Okay, next, Mu'allaq destiny. Mu'allaq destiny is a destiny that has been determined by Allah, but it can change depending on the reasons that human beings work on, such as life, year and time. In Ar-Ra'du, verses 39, A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Yamhullahu ma yasha' wa yuthbitu wa 'indahu ummul kitab. Allah erase, demolish what He wills and make fix what He wills, and with Him is the Ummul Kitab, the mother of the book. Okay, according to Tafsir Ibn Kathir, the scholars of Tafsir disagreed on his interpretation. As-Sawri, Waqi' and Hashim have narrated from Ibn Abu Layla, from Al-Minhal Ibn Amru, from Sa'id Ibn Jubayr, from Ibn Abbas, that it is Allah who governs the affairs of the Sunnah law. So, He eliminates what He wants, except misfortune, happiness, life and death. Inna du'a wal qada la ya'talijani baina as-sama'i wal ard. Indeed, prayer and qada destiny both really reject each other between heaven and earth. Ibn Jarir said, has narrated to me Muhammad ibn Sahli ibn Askar, has narrated to us Abdul Razak, has narrated to us Ibn Jarir, from Atta, from Ibn Abbas, who said that Allah has Lauh Mahfuz, which is as great as the journey of 500 years, made of a white gemstone diamond that has two antagonists made of yakut. Every day Allah examines it 360 times. He removes what He wills and establishes what He wills. And His side there is Ummul Kitab. Okay, next, destiny can be changed with prayer. Okay, however, destiny can also be changed with prayer. This is proven in Ghafir. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Qala rabbukum ud'uni astajib lakum. Innal ladzina yastakbiruna an ibadati sayadkhuluna jahannama dakhirin. And your Lord says, call upon me, I will respond to you. Indeed, those who disdain my worship will enter hell, rendered contemptible. Based on Tafsir Ibn Kathir, this is part of the bounty and generosity of Allah. He recommends to His servant to ask Him, and He guaranteed to grant their request. As Sufyan as-Sawri said, that the most loved by God among His servant, because He always asks Him and asks Him a lot. O people who are most angry with Him among His servant, because He never asks Him. Even though no one is like that except Him, O Allah. That is according to what has been narrated by Ibn Abu Hatim. Allahu yaghdibu in tarakta su'alih wa bani Adam hina yas'alu yaghdab. Allah is angry when you do not ask Him, while the children of Adam are angry while asked. Narrated by Abu Hatim. Rasulullah also once said, Man la yas'alullah yaghdaba alayhi. Whoever does not ask God, then He is angry with him. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I will continue my slide. My name is Arina Hazwani binti Jasni. My matric number is 117122. In this topic, I will explain about the reconcile between the views of Qadar on the Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah and Qadariyah. According to Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah, Qadar is divided into two. This is ultimate destiny and is written in Lauh Mahfuz. There is no reductions, additions, or alteration to this destiny. Firstly, Qadar Mubram is the Qadar of Allah written in Lauh Mahfuz. This Qadar will not change and is unknown to anyone. It is the secret of God's knowledge that the angels do not know about this matter. And second is next Qadar Mu'allaq, which is this is the destiny written in the records of the angels by the will of Allah. This destiny can be fixed and can change depending on the reasons that human endeavors means depending on this fact depends on the factors and reason. Okay, kat sini nak cakap bahawa menurut Ahli Sunnah wal Jamaah, Qadar is divided two, which is Qadar Mubram and Qadar Mu'allaq. Okay, what is Qadar Mubram? Qadar Mubram adalah satu adalah yang telah ditetapkan oleh Allah sejak Lauh Mahfuz dan tak boleh diubah. Contohnya macam kita punya kematian, kita punya jodoh, semua dah ditakdir oleh Allah dan tak boleh apa maksudnya, dan tak boleh diubah. Sebab itu urusan Allah. Okay, yang kedua ialah Qadar Mu'allaq, yang mana Qadar Mu'allaq ni adalah yang boleh kita ubah. Contohnya macam Allah dah tetapkan suatu hari tu kita gagal, tapi dengan kita berdoa, kita berusaha bersungguh-sungguh untuk capai kejayaan tu, so kita akan dapat ubah kita punya qadar tu. Okay, then besides, according to Qadariyah, states that all God human was either is the God who created, but the human word and the person who created it has nothing to do with God. The Qadariyah believe that human needs created by human beings themselves by the nature that God has given them since they were born into the world. God has absolutely nothing to do with a man now. In fact, God did know beforehand what man would do. Only after man has done his deeds, God knows what man is doing. Okay, kat sini dia nak kata bahawa menurut Qadariyah ni, dia menyatakan bahawa semua perbuatan yang baik adalah daripada Allah, dan perbuatan yang buruk adalah perbuatan manusia itu sendiri, bukan daripada Allah. Dan Qadariyah ni dipercaya bahawa perbuatan manusia ni diciptakan oleh manusia sendiri oleh sifat yang Tuhan telah berikan sejak dilahirkan itu, dan Tuhan tak ada sama sekali tak ada hubungan dengan manusia. Maksudnya Tuhan ni tak ada hubungan lah dengan manusia tu. Sebenarnya Tuhan tidak tahu Tuhan sama sekali tidak ada hubungannya dengan manusia sekarang. Sebenarnya Tuhan tidak tahu sebelumnya apa yang akan dilakukan oleh manusia. So macam Qadariyah nak kata Tuhan tak tahulah apa yang manusia nak buat, perbuatan manusia. Dia macam tak ada kaitan dengan manusia ni. Lepas tu hanya setelah manusia melakukan perbuatannya, Tuhan akan mengetahui apa yang manusia lakukan. So selepas seseorang tu melakukan perbuatan tu, barulah Allah tahu apa yang manusia tu nak lakukan. Okay, therefore, as we know, Qada and Qadar are the 6 pillars of the faith that must be believed by every Muslim, and understanding of the meaning of believing in Qada and Qadar will lead every Muslim to believe that Allah Almighty has established the law and cause and effect to something that gave birth to Qada Allah against him. The words of Prophet SAW, the meaning is, then tell us, O Messenger of Allah, about faith. Prophet Muhammad replied, you must believe in the existence of Allah, His angels, His holy books, His messenger, the hereafter, and Qadar. Okay, kat sini dia cakap, seperti yang kita tahu, Qadar dan Qadar adalah rukun iman yang keenam, yang mana yang mesti dipercayai oleh setiap Muslim. Pengertian tentang mempercayai Qadar akan menurut setiap Muslim, setiap orang Islam untuk mempercayai bahawa Allah SWT telah menetapkan hukum sebab dan akibat terhadap sesuatu yang melahirkan qadar Allah terhadapnya. Okey, sabda Nabi SAW, maksudnya, maka beritahu kami, wahai Rasulullah, tentang iman. Nabi Muhammad menjawab, anda harus percaya akan kewujudan Tuhan, malaikat, kitab-kitab, utusannya, the hereafter, and the qadar. Okay, finally, Ahlussunnah wal Jama'ah and Qadariyah are only the same in the belief of Qadar, but the difference is about the destiny. Qadariyah says that destiny is entire from man, while Ahlussunnah wal Jama'ah says that destiny has been determined by Allah, but man can change the destiny as an example of intelligence acquired by a person because he diligently studies and work hard to achieve that skill. Okay, akhirnya dekat sini kita nak kata bahawa Ahlussunnah wal Jama'ah dan Qadariyah ni dia percaya Qada dan Qadar. Tetapi perbezaannya adalah mengenai takdir. Takdir itulah pandangan, maksudnya perbezaannya antara mereka lah berdua tu. Dalam mereka Ahlussunnah wal Jamaah dan Qadariyah. Okey, Qadariyah dia mengatakan bahawa takdir adalah sepenuhnya dari manusia, dan Ahlussunnah wal Jamaah mengatakan bahawa takdir telah ditentukan oleh Allah, tetapi manusia dapat mengubah takdir. Sebagai contoh kecerdasan lah, kita bagi contoh kecerdasan. Seseorang tu dia memperolehi kejayaan dengan dia bersungguh-sungguh untuk capai dia punya kejayaan tu. So that's all. Okay. So that's all from me. Thank you. Bye.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Afiq bin Karul Anwar, 117-2143. I want to continue the next questions, which is the question number 6. Identify the view that nearer to Al-Quran and Al-Sunnah. Okay, the understanding of Qada and Qadar itself has always been a polemic among scholars. Isu Qada dan Qadar ini telah dibincangkan ataupun telah dibangkitkan oleh banyak mazhab seperti Mu'tazilah, Qadariyah, Jabariyah, hatta Asy'ariyah sendiri pun membahaskan tentang Qada dan Qadar ini. The combination of two words, Qada and Qadar, is not found in the Quran and Sunnah. Both are explained separately. Qada dan Qadar ini tidak dijumpai di dalam Al-Quran dan Sunnah secara kombinasi dia, secara Qada dan Qadar. And our group, we are more inclined to Asy'ariyah view. What is the Asy'ariyah view? Alright. The will of Allah is one, which is Qadim and Azali, integrated with all the wills of specific deeds. Kehendak Allah adalah satu, Qadim dan Azali, yang disatukan dengan semua kehendak perbuatan tertentu. Maknanya kat sini, Qada dan Qadar ini adalah Azali ataupun telah ditentukan dan disatukan dengan semua kehendak manusia. And it can be said that all the pros, cons, benefits, harms with His will or iradah and knowledge are already known and have been written in Lauh Mahfuz. Perbuatan manusia adalah ciptaan Tuhan. Ya, perbuatan manusia adalah ciptaan Tuhan, bukan usaha manusia. Dan boleh dikatakan di sini bahawa semua kebaikan, keburukan, faedah, kerugian dengan kehendaknya dan pengetahuan sudah diketahui dan telah ditulis di dalam Lauh Mahfuz. Di sini kita boleh dapat lihat bahawa Qada dan Qadar seseorang manusia itu telah ditentukan dan telah ditulis di dalam Lauh Mahfuz sendiri. Dan di situlah hukum Qada dan Qadar ini telah ditentukan dan tidak berubah. Adapun menurut Asy'ariyah, kita boleh mengubah Qada dan Qadar antara lain adalah dengan cara berdoa. Human beings are able to perform their own actions because humans are capable of distinguishing between reflex and deliberate of movements. Di sini poin yang sangat penting, iaitu Asy'ariyah, iaitu poin ini membezakan antara Asy'ariyah, Jabariyah dan Qadariyah. Manusia dapat melakukan tindakannya sendiri kerana manusia mampu membezakan antara refleks dan gerakan yang disengajakan. Dapat disimpulkan di sini bahawa yes, Qada dan Qadar itu adalah daripada Allah, tetapi kita manusia berhak menentukan sama ada baik ataupun buruk. Secara analoginya, Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala telah menurunkan baik dan buruk. Tinggal kita manusia memilih antara sama ada melakukan kebaikan ataupun kejahatan. And according to Imam Al-Ghazali, the combine of the two powers, which is the power of God and the power of man, kebenarannya menurut Al-Ghazali adalah menggabungkan dua kekuatan, iaitu kekuatan Tuhan dan kekuatan manusia itu sendiri. Manusia dalam melakukan perbuatan itulah. Okay, next, the view of Asy'ariyah in line with the Al-Quran. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Wa in min syai'in illa 'indana khazainuhu wa ma nunazziluhu illa biqadarin ma'lum. And there is nothing but with us is his treasure, and we did not send it down except to a certain extent. Surah Al-Hijr, verse 21. And the verse and a different verse, wa kana amran maqdiyan, and this is the thing that has been said. Surah Maryam, verse 21. And in the as-sunnah ataupun hadis, an tu'minu billahi wa malaikatihi wa kutubihi wa rusulihi wal yawmil akhir wa tu'minu bil qadari khairihi wa syarrihi. You believe in Allah, His angel, His books, His messengers, and the doomsday, and you believe in good and bad destiny. Hadis riwayat Muslim. Di sini kita boleh dapat lihat bahawa qada dan qadar ini telah ditentukan oleh Allah seperti yang saya cakap tadi di dalam Lauh Mahfuz sendiri. Tetapi kita sebagai manusia sendiri berhak menentukan sama ada nak melakukan kejahatan ataupun kebaikan. Next, I want to raise the issues of Qada and Qadar according to Jabariyah, Qadariyah and Asy'ariyah. Asy'ariyah tried to mediate between the Jabariyah and Qadariyah sects. Di sini kita boleh dapat lihat fungsi Asy'ariyah itu sendiri, bahawa Asy'ariyah mencuba untuk menjadi pertengahan antara Jabariyah dan Qadariyah. What is the view of Jabariyah? Jabariyah believe that human beings are majburun or forced. There is no effort in determining their actions. Jabariyah percaya bahawa manusia adalah majburun ataupun terpaksa, dan manusia tidak ada usaha dalam menentukan tindakannya. Semuanya daripada Tuhan, daripada Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Tuhan menentukan pergerakan manusia, dan boleh diibaratkan di sini adalah manusia seperti patung yang tidak dapat melakukan apa-apa. Semuanya daripada Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Berbeza pula dengan pandangan Qadariyah, iaitu Qadariyah, human beings are free to will and determine their own destiny. Bagi Qadariyah pula, manusia bebas berkehendak dan menentukan nasib mereka sendiri. Manusia bebas berkehendak ataupun manusia suka hati je nak buat apa bagi manusia, bagi Qadariyah. Dan Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala tidak campur tangan dalam tindakan manusia, dan ini adalah manifestasi keadilan Tuhan bagi Qadariyah itu sendiri. Di sini saya hendak simpulkan bahawa Asy'ariyah, pandangan Asy'ariyah sendiri, yes, dia adalah orang kata apa, wasatiyah dalam isu qada dan qadar ini. Dan pandangan Asy'ariyah adalah kuasa Tuhan menentukan qada dan qadar, tetapi manusia berhak memilih antara baik dan buruk, berbanding dengan Jabariyah dan Qadariyah. Di sini kita boleh dapat lihat bahawa pandangan Asy'ariyah inilah yang terdekat dengan pandangan Al-Quran dan As-Sunnah. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, I will continue the slide. My name is Natasha Tushabamiti Yusri. My metric number 1172137. I will continue about the unclear area that are undecided. Next slide. The discussion of this dinner is one of the themes that is quite complicated because the evidence that reach to us is contradict with each other. Some scholars divide the Qada into type: first, Qada Mubram, and second, Qada Mu'allaq. But the problem is there is absolutely no information from the hadith that states what things fall into the category of Qada Mubram and Qada Mu'allaq. Some of the people believe that the Qada Mubram is only three types, which is sustenance, soulmate, and die is a complete unfound assumption. Okay, kat sini nak terangkan bahawa pembincangan mengenai takdir adalah satu tema yang agak rumit kerana bukti yang sampai kepada kita ni saling bertentangan. Sebilangan sedenar membahagikan keadaan ni kepada dua, iaitu Qada Mubram dan Qada Mu'allaq. Tetapi muncul permasalahan tentang tak ada maklumat dari hadis yang menyatakan perkara yang termasuk dalam kategori Qada Mubram dan Qada Mu'allaq. Setengah orang percaya bahawa Qada Mubram hanya ada 3 jenis, iaitu rezeki, jodoh dan juga kematian. Okay, next slide. But the classification of Qada Mubram and Qada Mu'allaq is standard applicative. For example, poverty. Does this include in Qada Mubram or Qada Mu'allaq? We say there are poor people who have prayed all their life and try hard to get out of poverty, but until the end of his life, he remained poor. This incident shows that the poverty of the person has been eradicated.
But we also see a poor man whose effort has drastically turned his fortune into the rich. This incident shows that the poverty of the person is still qadar mu'allaq, which can be changed. The same issue occurs in all cases in this world, from illness, accident, and even die. Which part of is it qadar mubram and which part is qadar mu'allaq? So, in this issue, we have to put in the third box, which means we are unsure about our destination actually in qadar mubram or qadar mu'allaq. Okay, kat sini nak terangkan bahawa klasifikasi qadar mubram dan qadar mu'allaq ni masih tak dapat berlaku lagi. Contohnya, kemiskinan. Persoalan di sini bahawa kemiskinan ini tu termasuk dalam qadar mubram atau qadar mu'allaq. Kita dapat melihat ada orang miskin yang dia telah berdoa sepanjang hidupnya dan berusaha keras untuk keluar dari kemiskinan, tapi sampai hingga akhir hayatnya dia tetap miskin. Kejadian ini menunjukkan bahawa kemiskinan orang itu adalah sudah tetap. Tapi kita juga dapat melihat orang miskin yang dengan usaha mereka dapat mengubah nasibnya menjadi orang yang sangat kaya. Dengan itu, kejadian tersebut menunjukkan bahawa kemiskinan orang tersebut masih dalam qadar mu'allaq, iaitu masih boleh berubah. Masalah yang sama berlaku dalam semua keadaan di dunia ini, contohnya seperti sakit, kemalangan dan juga kematian. Bahagian mana yang ada dalam kategori qadar mu'allaq dan yang mana ada dalam qadar mubram. Oleh itu, dalam isu ini kita harus meletakkannya dalam kotak ketiga, iaitu kotak yang mana yang kita tak pasti, yang mana Prof pernah cakap dalam kelas, kalau kita tak pasti dengan satu perkara, kita harus meletakkan dalam kotak ketiga. Kotak ketiga di sini bermaksud kita tak pasti mengenai nasib kita yang sebenarnya di dalam qadar mubram atau qadar mu'allaq. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Alright, for the conclusion, belief in Qada and Qadar is one of the pillars of faith that must be believed by every Muslim in this world. Qada is the previous knowledge that Allah punished something with it at the beginning. Qadar is the implementation of things that have been set for the creatures. So, as we can see previously in other slide, the focus issue in this article is about Qada Mubram and Qada Mu'allaq. And I believe that all the presenters have explained this issue in detail and very clear. So, next for the perspective of Qada and Qadar from Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah is human beings are able to perform their own actions because humans are capable of distinguishing between reflexes and deliberate of movement. For Jabariyah, they believe that humans beings are majburun, and for Qadariyah, humans beings are free to will and determine their own destiny. Okay, I think that's all from our group in this presentation. Thank you for your concern, and I end it with Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.